Wearing gold with white, he weighed in officially 111 1/2 pounds. As a professional in 15 bouts, he stands perfect with 15 victories, no defeats, 11 wins coming by way of knockout. From Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine, here is the undefeated Артём Далакян! And next, his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing green and gold, he too weighed in officially 111 1/2 pounds. This veteran has an outstanding record as a professional, 38 victories, 5 defeats, 22 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former unified WBA, WBO flyweight world champion, former WBC, IBF light flyweight champion of the world from Waipahu, Hawaii. Here is Hawaiian Punch, Braianom Viloriaa!
So they'll meet in the middle, they'll get their final words, and then we'll be underway.
Turn to your corner and wait the bell. Good luck.
Interesting matchup, Kevin, because even though Dalakyan has had fewer fights, he's a little higher rated and he's slightly favored in this fight against a former champion. So this is really one in which people have a hard time deciding who they like.
Well, you think about it like this. He's the fresher of the two. You know, doesn't have the damage, the wear and tear. You know, the way I look at Brian is he's more the Lincoln Town car. And the young kid is the brand new Lexus. He doesn't have the wear and tear on him. He's a newer model, a newer version. But does experience beat the new tradition? That's the question mark.
Yeah, do you buy or lease, right, with these two cars you're talking about?
That's right. Villoria's quick. He's strong. Still, you know, the question mark is, does he want to save what's left of the career? That's the question mark. I think that's where he's at right now.
He's been a champion at 112 and 108, going back and forth between these two weight classes. And, you know, at this level, these weights, a couple of big hamburgers, you can go up 4 weight classes.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest key. You know, did he get stronger? Did he lose muscle? At the level that he's at now, and the years that he has behind him, and like I said, in boxing, you know, as you age, you have more behind you than ahead of you, especially at his level.
Drops her right hand in. Good combinations by Dalakyan.
Dalakyan is very quick. Like I said, he's young, he's ambitious. You know, there's a lot going on there with him, you know, right now. You know, it's called the coming out party. And he's trying to come out, and he's fighting a credible opponent.
This title became vacant with the recent retirement of champion Kazuto Ioka of Japan.
You deserve a belt for getting that name right. There, most fans out there don't know many men at this weight class. In America, we don't have too many men that small, you know, with all the fast food and everything, you know. But in Asian countries, in Thailand, and China, Japan, these guys are smaller. They may be healthier, too.
Dalakyan, a tall, rangy guy. Villoria will try to duck inside.
Ten seconds.
There's some action that happened here in the first round, where Villoria landed a nice right hand, missed the second one, but the first one landed.
So we start round two. Braianom Viloriea, Артём Далакян. Dalakyan, his first time outside the Ukraine.
Well, the Ukraine's been producing a lot of new talent, even around the Ukraine. If you look at Triple G, Gennady, there's some guys coming out that they call it the Iron Wall. Used to call it the Iron Wall, but these guys have iron punches too, and they're strong. And Артём is a very strong fighter. You can see how strong he is, his upper body. And Villoria's having a little bit of problems with the strength of him.
So when Villoria tries to get inside the jab, there's a price to pay for him.
Yeah, he's very strong. You know, Артём is, you know, is a strong guy. You can see physically, he's taller. He's got leverage on his working for him on the side, and he's strong. He's very, very strong. People that come from that Eastern Bloc, as they call it, are very strong. Russians and from the Ukraine and from Kazakhstan, those countries are very strong punchers.
What kind of chins do they have is a question that Villoria would like to know, as he landed a good right hand behind the jab.
Well, he just got counted. It seemed like he got wobbled with that shot. Like I said, these people from that Eastern Bloc are very strong.
But he dropped a few bombs here on Villoria, who took them.
The Villoria's legs don't look as stable as they should. I think he got hurt a little bit in that combination. But as a school champion, we'll see how he survives.
Villoria's 37 years old. Dalakyan 30. Now what about Dalakyan? Would you gamble a little bit here if you're him?
Well, he has nothing to lose and everything to gain with the fight. I mean, it's pretty much his first fight out of the country. He got everything to gain, but he's much a coming out party. So it's hard to look good against Villoria. It's very hard to look good against him. But he has to look good. Артём loads that left hook underneath to the body. He loads it. He's not really utilizing his height to his advantage.
No, he'd like to show the jab as well with that.
Yeah, he's got a very hard, everything he throws is hard. But that's how you get fatigued. This is a 12-round fight, and I don't think he's ever boxed 12 rounds. So he's got to have some energy in the later rounds. Be conservative a little bit. He's got to learn to be conservative.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Easier said than done, of course, but that's the blueprint.
Затылку не бей. Рефери замечание делает. Нормально. Легко, легко. Свободно не держать. По сторонам крути его.
Let's take a look at this action late in the fight, late in the round. They go to straight right hand that kind of buckle the knees of Dalakyan. Let's see if he pays attention.
So some big moments for both fighters in that second round. Good right hands by Dalakyan, and Villoria answering late, but it's a good offensive show so far.
They're both men are trying to establish respect here. They both had their moments, round 1 and 2. Villoria in round 2, and Dalakyan, of course, in round 1. This is a pivotal point, how the fight's going to go. This round here, they had a chance to look at both men. They got a chance to watch what they're doing, but now we'll see who takes control of this fight.
Looping left hand there by Dalakyan. You get the feeling, Kevin, he could show that jab and then walk Viloria into an uppercut.
Yeah, well, he could pop the jab. He's got the height advantage and somewhat of a small reach advantage. And he's fighting very relaxed. It's hard to beat somebody that's fighting that comfortable. Because you wonder, does he see something I don't? You know? And Viloria is on the outside trying to get in. That's how dangerous it is when you're trying to get into a big puncher like Dalakyan. See, like right there. He throws the right hand, but he doesn't come back to the left side, which is the jab, Dalakyan. But he's throwing good shots. And he's moving. Is he moving because Viloria can punch? Or is he moving because that's what he does in his style?
Good right hand by Viloria. Fights I've seen of him, he's looked good on the outside and has some heavy hands, and sometimes he just drops those hands, though.
Yeah, it's a reflex that he's been doing, getting away with in the gym. And you know what they say about practice?
There's that uppercut I talked about.
Yes, you did. Very dangerous punch, an uppercut. You don't see it.
No, stop.
Now you see the hook that he just threw there. Would that have been better served if he threw a jab and then the hook for Dalakyan?
Everything's better after a jab, okay? A jab is like the appetizer. You throw the jab to camouflage what you really want to do. It's hard to leave with solid punches, like a straight right hand, or a left hook, or a right hook. You got to camouflage it. I'll throw some jabs out there, I'll blind your view for a second, and then I throw it at you. Dalakyan is not doing that. Everything's a power punch, and either he's hoping he lands it, like there, right there. He's trying to power punch to the body. There's only one. That's still a combination.
We start round 4, Braianom Viloriaa and Артём Далакян vying for the vacant title in this weight class. Villoria's been a title holder at 112 and 108, and yet it's he at the corner said this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Interesting, he's already been a champion twice.
Well, it is. Every time you win the belt, you know what's great here about this? People don't know this. When the belt is vacant, that means both men tonight will leave with that belt. One of them or the other going to leave with that belt. When one is champion and one's not champion, just for TV purposes, you have the belt in it. But you don't go home with that belt because that belt goes back to the champion. So one of these men are walking home with that belt tonight. And of course, Viloriaa would like to be there, and because he said, I've done that. But the newest guy would, like, of course, Dalakyan would like to do something different and grab a belt. And I'm sure he didn't come this far to lose.
And you know, you spend your career pointing to this moment. So much is available if you get past this hurdle.
You have this is a very, very important fight. It's more important to Dalakyan than there is to Viloriaa, because he's been to the rodeos, been to the dance. In boxing at 37 years old, they're counting him out. So he has something to prove, but if it doesn't get done, they have a window to open and say, okay, this is why.
You get the sense that Viloriaa has options to get fights even if he doesn't win. But for Dalakyan, he was nowhere, then he's on the scene all of a sudden, and he has to make his mark right now.
Yeah, well, it's a coming out party for him.
Warning about the grabbing of the head. Are we going to see a point here? At least a warning.
There could be something wrong with gloves or something, I think.
Does that again, I'm taking away a point.
Oh,
You understand?
This is the final warning of a point. That's the emphasis there.
Yeah, Dalakyan is very, very, how can I say it? He's very physical in the ring.
Well, we've seen him already holding behind the head and then pulling Viloria's head to him.
He's very physical because he's a strong guy, but at the end of the day, illegal tactics are illegal tactics.
I think the referee made a point of informing the corner, too, to underscore it, and also just to make sure that they tell him properly between rounds. Well, you get the sense that it's a pretty good likelihood that he might get a point taken from him in this fight.
And that could be pivotal right now. Definitely pivotal right now. Villoria's just being calm, being patient, and these rounds are very hard to score, even on my scorecard.
Round 5, Viloria and Dalakyan.
I got to show my score unofficially, of course. 39-38 right now, and pretty crazy. You know, it's very, very controversial for me to score fights. You know, this fight is kind of close. I'm going to track my score, 49-47. I have Villorian slightly edged in this fight. He's going forward, active aggression. I'm scoring for that. With Dalakyan, he's going back. He's playing more of a retrieval mode. So it's questionable what the judges are looking at, but this is a very, very close fight and very hard to score.
Good left hook there by Dalakyan, and these guys are standing and taking their shot. You know, you always get action-packed fights in these weight classes.
Well, the little guys, they're quick, they're fast, and now they can punch. Because now, years ago, they used to criticize guys at this weight class, but now these guys can actually hit very hard.
Stop. Right.
2 for Dalakyan, 1 for Vilorian. We see a different kind of movement now by Dalakyan. More defensive and less purposeful.
Yeah, well, like I said, the question mark is called ring generalship. Are you moving and being effective? Okay, are you causing a fight? Or are you moving to get away, to get out the way? That's what judges look at. Okay, if the man is controlling the action, you know, Villoria, is he controlling the action by going forward, or is Dalakyan controlling the action by boxing?
Contrasting methods for Villoria and Dalakyan as we head to the end of the round.
Чуть раньше начинали. Где-то перехватывай. Ты начал просто работать вторым номером, ну все. Перехвати, пойди сам где-то вперед. All right, now be faithful out, coach.
Round 6, Villoria and Dalakyan locked up in a good one here. Title on the line, it's vacant.
What's amazing about this fight, both are little men, known for being quick, fast, and they both are big punchers right now. They both are throwing bombs at each other. So the speed thing is kind of out the window, and it's who hits harder. Right now, I give them credit. The little guys, they punch very hard.
You think Dalakyan is using his height and reach enough?
He can use it better with a jab. A jab is a central weapon when you're taller, and he's not utilizing it. So he's allowing Villoria to come inside and throw bombs. As you can see right there, if he's on the outside, he's kind of stiff too, Dalakyan. Now he doesn't come back to the jab. Like right there, he throws one punch at a time. It's a lunge, it's a leap, and then he goes back to movement.
Good uppercut by Dalakyan, catching Villoria moving in.
It seems like Dalakyan is trying to get a knockout with one punch. Also, I noticed something Dalakyan does. He switches righty, he switches lefty. So it seems like he can punch on either side. He's a little awkward fighter, you know, confusion. He goes right, he goes lefty. That's giving Villoria some troubles. That's going to be a point deduction, I guarantee it. What? The referee, I'm shocked. Remember, he warned him earlier about that, and he did not take a point away. So Dalakyan is very lucky.
Gave him a final warning, too.
Yeah, and he didn't take a point.
Villoria trying to get inside that jab and go to work.
Well, the way to get away from a jab is take his left hand, and when Dalakyan throws his jab, carry it down to the ground and throw your jab over the top. So you don't let a guy jab at you, you deviate his jab. So like Villoria's right there. When Dalakyan throws his jab, he's got to parry it and come over the top.
So he knocks the jab down with his right hand.
Exactly. Well, his left hand, but he's right.
That's a split-second transition, too.
Yeah, it helps you. they take a nice look at some of the push down on Villoria when earlier he got warned, Dalakyan got warned that if he does that again, he'll remove a point. I don't understand what the referee and why the referee didn't do that.
Suffice it to say, as we start the second half of the fight, that Dalakyan dodged the bullet in terms of having a point taken away.
Very fortunate that didn't happen. That could affect the outcome later on in this fight. As it's close, a fight like this close, I got it scored after 6 rounds. Actually, 1 point difference, 58-57. Villoria, only because of moving forward. And he's landing shots. He's getting hit with some here and there, but I have him slightly ahead by 1 point.
Well, that would bode well for him in the sense that he's had more rounds. He's had longer fights than Dalakyan. He's been into the deep water more often. And if he's in the fight or ahead by a point or two going into the home stretch, that would bode very well for him.
Yeah, it would do very good for him. And even though the referee didn't take a point away.
Again, very close.
Yeah, every time Villoria ducks down, Dalakyan puts his arm, like an arm bar behind the head of Villoria. So you got to wonder, was the referee's warning, was it solid? Was it committed? I haven't seen a point deducted yet.
Well, then the danger, if you're Dalakyan, is that maybe you ignore it and then something flimsy happens later and you do lose the point. And when you see the guy take his opponent and pull down on his head, what is the punch he's not throwing? What is he not doing?
Ooh.
Here comes Villoria.
Villoria just hit Dalakyan with a right hand that buckled his legs.
Talked about Villoria looking forward to the second half of this fight.
Yeah, right now what's going on, Dalakyan got hit with a nice hook. I believe it was. I'll see in the replay. And he got buckled. His legs got buckled. And it seemed to me he was very, very hurt. But he's doing a very good job recovering right now. Here's the thing that set this fight, separated the men from the two. As he made a miss, he hit him with a big right hand, which you see the legs of Dalakyan go. Here he goes, take another look, and here goes a big right hand, right on the chin. Dalakyan body even covered, but he was hurt.
If you start round 8, you're actually in pretty good shape to take that shot Dalakyan did from Villoria in that last round.
Yeah, and he recovered. I gave the round big to Braianom Viloriá, and I got the fight scored, and officially, of course, 68-66, going to Brian right now. I think that Dalakyan needs to figure out how to box a little bit more efficient, be on the outside, and use his reach to his advantage instead of power punching.
been very patient. Gets his jab in there just before the hook of Dalakyan.
Stop! Stop!
Both of these men are throwing bombs. Okay, missiles, bombs, atom bombs. They're trying to knock each other out. That's what makes this fight very interesting.
We've got a pleasing contrast in styles, too.
Yes, well, one man is actually taller. Dalakyan is taller. And he could be on the outside boxing, very slick and smooth. And he chose not to. And Braianom Viloria, of course, is going after his target. He's going to breach the guard of Dalakyan. And he does it every time. And it's an explosive fight. But, you know, it's kind of frustrating, I think, for both men.
Villoria is trying to outlast his opponent and then pour it on later because he's been in the situation more.
Yeah, they call it in boxing, you take him deep and you drown him. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to wear down Dalakyan to get him in the later rounds where he can take advantage of it.
Good right hand there by Villoria again. He's waiting on Dalakyan to commit before he throws his right hand.
Coach, you know what happens? They say you're always open after you throw punches. That's when you're open. You're not open as you're throwing punches. So Bryan is definitely trying to get him to do that.
Stop! Break! Break! 10 seconds! 10 seconds! Stop! Time.
Here we take a look at Dalakyan. Throwing some nice punches. He kind of grazed Villoria with the right hand. Here's a nice counter punch. You see, it didn't buckle Dalakyan, but good punch.
Had Villoria been one step closer to him when he threw that quick right hand, it would have been on the button and might have done him a lot of good.
Yeah, but you got to throw a second punch. Boxing's about throwing 3 and 4s. It's a ratio. You throw 3 or 4, you land 1 or 2. If you throw 1, if you miss it, you miss it. If you throw 1, you might land it. So it's always good to keep accommodation.
Good shot by Dalakyan on Villoria here early in round 9, and a good jab.
Stop! Break! Break!
Has to drive the corner crazy of Dalakyan when they see him jabbing here, and they say to themselves, see what you can do if you stick with the natural tools you have.
Yeah, it's hard when I understand it. I even apologized to my trainer as my career ended. I said, I'm sorry for not listening to you from time to time, because you see one thing and your trainer sees something else. So it's very difficult to let somebody do something that it's very hard as a fighter. A lot of times the trainers say things and the fighter does not do them. A lot of times. Right there. Braianom Villoria threw a nice right hand. It did not come back to the jab. They both were throwing power punches, both men off, and nobody's boxing.
Dalakyan landing some of his better shots in this round.
It's knocked the sweat right off Braianom Villoria.
Hooked by Dalakyan. For the moment, it looks like Dalakyan found a second win.
Yeah, well, he's like he's found his range a lot better from the outside. He's landed some good punches on this round, on the outside, where Braianom Viloriaa cannot hit him. Oh, there it goes again. And the question mark is the referee going to take a point away.
Looks like he will now.
Take away a point. 1 point.
Now this could be very important.
This could be detrimental in the scorecards in the end. This could be huge against him.
Now, in the last 4 or 5 rounds, Kevin, you said earlier, some of the other offenses were more flagrant than this, but you just never know which one's going to break the camel's back.
Well, he had to do something finally, because he warned him the first time, next time you do it, and he didn't do anything. So now he had to make a statement.
You talk about terrible timing, because Dalakyan is enjoying his best round probably since maybe the second or third.
Yeah, this could either dead even around at a 9-9, or it could make it a 10-9 round. One for Braianom Viloriaa. Let me take a look early in the round that Braianom Viloriaa got hit with a nice right hand. And here's later in the round, overhand right, where Dalakyan had some moments, but he did actually.
Talked about that. Part of it is Viloriaa sold that with a little bit of extra movement.
Oh, you have to. You have to. Anything that advances the decision, it helps you. You act a role.
And that's why some of the other ones after the final warning were not called, and that one was. So
that was actually, to me, Dalakyan's best round. I thought that he looked really effective, good shots, but that hurt him because I scored that round 9-9. I would have gave him a round if he didn't have that point deducted, but because he had a point deducted, it has to be 9-9.
That round was in his pocket comfortably before that happened.
You know who he reminds me of, being from Europe? He reminds me a little bit of the Prince.
Oh.
Prince Nassim. They have that arrogance about them, you know, with their hands down, and they're very, very, like I can say, a little cocky.
Sure, like with the whirling right here and the flamboyant. However, I saw a little sportsmanship from him, which I didn't always see from the Prince. So I'll say good, and then there's the contrast. Like when he lost the point, he was a gentleman about that.
And right now, you know, he could, unfortunately, you know, the point deducted the way he's going, but he has to be very careful. He doesn't have a jab, as you can see. He jabs very infrequent. When he's on the outside fighting that fashion, he should be jabbing. Stay on the outside.
Then again, with the
Better stop doing that. You understand?
Points down, he can't stop himself. Now, if he double jabbed, he would not have to do that.
He has to be cautious. And the thing with him is that when he gets close, he doesn't know. There he goes again. He doesn't know what to do. So Dalakyan goes inside and pushes behind the neck of Viloriaa.
What should he be doing there that he wouldn't be pushing down?
When you get inside, use your hand to punch. That's what it's for. Okay, not wrestling. This is boxing, not wrestling. Use your hand to punch. You get on the inside, little short uppercut, short hooks to the body, short little punches to the head, and do stuff like that to show that you're trying to functionally box. Instead, he's going behind the neck of Viloriaa where he gets points deducted.
Shortcuts. What they're trying to do, shortcuts.
Yeah, well, he's trying to make the legs tight of Viloriaa. I can tell the judge what that trick is. By pushing him behind the neck, I tire his legs out.
Good jab by Dalakyan. Just like sometimes guys with the headbutts, you know, if they would jab their way in, they wouldn't need the headbutt.
Yeah, well, like I said, the key here is a boxing basic, which is a jab. Dalakyan's not utilizing his jab. And neither is Villorier. Okay, either one. They're both fighting very inside, very in close.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
You got to get inside and work, man. You got to let your hands go. You got to go with 3-4 punch combination, not just one. One's not going to cut it. You understand? How about uppercuts? You know how to throw uppercuts? Throw uppercuts. Get inside and give me some uppercuts. Everything you're going with is too wide. Go up the middle now. Finish it up.
You got to at least put him on his ass, Brian. You got to at least put him on his ass.
Then we take a look at the headbutt. They keep clashing heads. Here it is. The Dalakyan's head should have a glove on it.
Yeah, he's gotten away with a lot for all that he's done to just lose 1 point. He got the special. He's had about 5 or 6 infractions and only lost 1 point.
It's amazing. He's been getting away with murder.
Into round 11, Villorier 38-5, 23 knockouts. Dalakyan 15-0, 11 knockouts. A good-looking fighter, good condition. Now he's in these championship rounds.
I got it scored unofficially, of course, 95-97. I got Villorier etching out a decision because he's landed a little bit more effective punches. He's had his moments. He's gotten hit with some shots, but not too frequent.
See, now that points to, if your scorecard is accurate, how big that point is.
Oh.
That he lost. Because now, if that's true, Dalakyan would have to win both rounds to get a draw and still not get a title. But if he didn't have that happen, he would only be down 1 point, and the last 2 rounds could give him the fight.
Exactly. 97-95, Braianom Villoria.
Got to figure the scoring is in and around that. This fight up for grabs.
Because we don't know what the judges are looking at. They could be looking at...
Well, how much weight do they give here? Is that a knockdown? Did the gloves touch?
I think that was a headbutt.
How are they viewing this?
It might have been a headbutt.
Come right back on Villorier here. Uppercut. Dalakyan seeing an opportunity. Something how the sight of blood will energize you, and they try to make a closing argument here.
It seems like Braianom Villoria is weakening with that blood coming out of his face. You can't let the blood unmotivate you. You got to stay motivated.
In the meantime, it has kicked Dalakyan into another gear.
Oh, the blood is squirting out the head of Braianom Villoria.
Now Dalakyan does see a shortcut, but right after that, and if Villoria's vision is obscured by anything, then those right hands will come in. Just when Villorier had everything going his way, including the point deduction, Dalakyan gets reborn.
Well, that blood will do that to you. And now, if it's going into his eyes,
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
it could be a serious problem.
Big in-between round session for Villoria's corner coming up.
One more round left, right? You gotta take advantage of it. He's jumping in it, right? Hold your ground, counter with the left hook, right? Hold your ground. Sure. Get on your ground.
He was taking a look, trying to figure out where the blood came from. It was an elbow, it looks like. Yes, an elbow ripped him open.
And look where the referee was, behind it, so he doesn't see it there.
It was definitely an elbow. That's a massive laceration. It all depends on if they allow him to continue. I mean, I think he should be able to go to 12th round.
Well, his body language was not good at the end of round 11, so they're going to pay close attention to that. Final round, Braianom Villoria, Артём Далакян. Villoria damaged by an elbow in round 11, not called.
Yeah, well, this might wake him up and cause a lot of punches to be thrown by him, or try to go for the knockout. Because it'd be unfortunate if they try to stop this fight in the final round.
In the meantime, that elbow has energized Dalakyan.
Stop! Break! Break!
Well, that attention given to Villoria. Like there were about 30 seconds more between rounds there. That's good for him as far as that goes. Amid all this blood, remember, Dalakyan was doing well in the beginning. Villoria surging in the middle rounds. Dalakyan losing a point.
Very hard fight.
And there's the elbow again that just missed.
Yeah, very hard fight to score. And if you're looking at this fight, you came in round 6 or 7, you would think that Braianom Villoria is losing this fight. I got it scored very close, unofficially, of course, by 1 point. Very scary. 106, 105. I got Braianom Villoria winning. It depends on this last round. It could be a draw. This is anybody's fight.
So, Kevin, not only should Dalakyan have a glove on his head, maybe he should have a glove on his elbow, huh?
Yeah, I never thought about that. That was a really good one because that elbow strike is very dangerous.
He just misses with it as an extension. Big right hand by Dalakyan. A knockdown would be very big for either guy.
What's crazy about this, we don't know if that blood's influencing the judges. You know, it seems to me that Braianom Villoria has slowed down extremely.
Yeah, it will at least impact the offensive flow of Villoria. Since that elbow, it has been all Dalakyan.
And look at his shoes of Braianom Villoria. He got blood, massive amounts of blood on his shoes.
And what happened there is the referee was behind it. So we didn't see that. That was his positioning. And he missed the elbow. Where you fight, very important. We've seen these kind of fights stopped in other jurisdictions. This one will go to the scorecards. And they both think they have it. Good sportsmanship throughout, even when he lost the point. Dalakyan was not mad.
Here we take a look at some action going around. More head movements and a nice overhand right. Dalakyan landed another overhand right. You see that angle right there. He's landing some really good overhand rights. And I'm sure the blood don't help.
Major turning point in the final parts of this fight. Watch the elbow, not called here, on Dalakyan. See where the referee is? He's behind. Not in the picture. He does not see that.
The biggest thing I was shocked about, that Braianom Viloria didn't even protest it at all, because he knew he was cut.
Nor did the corner.
I'm sure he felt the elbow.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. All three judges see it. 118-109, your winner. By unanimous decision, he is now the WBA flyweight champion of the world and still undefeated, Артём Далакян!
So Dalakyan in a unanimous whitewash. And gets himself the triumph.
Yeah, I found that kind of crazy. I scored it dead even. I had a 115-115. Yeah, it wasn't even close as far as the judges' scorecards went. I saw a different fight. I saw it dead even, 115-115. Going to the final round.